My dream in high school was to live in Japan and be fluent in Japanese, so I started studying the language during my junior year. My progress, though, is only impressive if you take into account that everything I know has been self-taught. Anyway, I went to a tech college to take general education courses. I was debating going into international business at the time, but I was too unsure of myself, so I decided to take classes that would transfer easily to any university later on. The transition to college and living at home while most of my friends moved out of town is part of what caused me to fall into depression and choose to drop out after the first semester. I started reevaluating my entire life at this point, and I stopped studying Japanese during this time too. After a short break from school, I decided to return in the fall again and take some more general education courses. I also wanted to visit Japan, but I didn't think I'd be brave enough to actually go there on my own. But somehow one of my friends convinced me to sign up for a program called USA Summer Camp. She told me that it's a program that brings American college students over to Japan to teach English in 3-day summer camp sessions, and I didn't think I'd get in, but I applied anyways. But something happened with my motivation again. I started to view life as a race, and I doubted my decisions to stay in my hometown while my high school friends all moved away. So, I don't admit it proudly, but I took another break from school during the spring semester of my second year. And then, almost out of nowhere, I received an email in the middle of May that year, asking if I was still interested in the USA Summer Camp program in Tokyo. I had my ticket to Japan if I wanted it, and I took it. I made new friends for the first time since graduating high school, and I didn't have any negative thoughts lurking in the back of my mind while I was exploring Tokyo on my days off. This is actually when I started making vlogs, which were mainly to show my friends and family back home what I was experiencing abroad. I was a very inexperienced storyteller and filmmaker, but I do still enjoy looking back on old memories from about 5 years ago. So we're going to try to fit our whole team on this bus.
Might as well swim. The world's on fire, how about yours? That's the way I like it and I'll never get bored.
When I went home, I decided to return to the tech college for a third time, but this time was different. I chose a major, visual communications. I really enjoyed my time making videos overseas, and I wanted to learn more about video production. And also, this was the first time I didn't drop out in the spring semester, and I was invited to go back to Japan for USA Summer Camp in 2015. So I did. After returning from another amazing summer in Tokyo, I knew I only had 2 semesters of classes left before graduation. I actually really enjoyed the advanced video production classes and motion graphics classes that I was taking. It was a lot of fun and the year went by quickly, but I needed a plan for after graduation. So I applied to a university in my state, and I was accepted. The only problem is that they only accepted 21 out of over 60 credits that I completed. I was practically starting over. I was 22 years old, living in the dorms with mainly 19-year-olds, and I'll mention now that I don't like drinking alcohol much, so I didn't really fit in well there, and I only made it until October. I didn't even finish the semester. I had 2 great years, and then I lost sight of what mattered to me, living in Japan and speaking Japanese fluently. I made plans to go with a high school friend to Tokyo and visit a couple friends over New Year's, and it was a lot of fun. We had a great time. We even saw the snow monkeys in Nagano, but when I returned home, I didn't make any positive life changes, and I felt like I was falling again, and it felt terrible. So I enrolled in another local university in a program more similar to visual communications, and this time though, they accepted even less credits. I think it was maybe 15. And I ended up doing the USA Summer Camp program again for a couple weeks in the summer, but when I returned home, I definitely knew that I couldn't continue school at this pace. I couldn't do another 4 years like that. So this time I only made it through the fall semester, and I took the spring off once again. In February, I received an email from the same organization that ran the USA Summer Camp program. They had an internship available in Nagasaki, and interns would have opportunities to teach English in public and private schools of all age levels for 2 months. Then we had the option of doing the USA Summer Camp program again, and that would cover our airfare expenses. It seemed like a pretty good deal to me, and interns also received TEFL certifications. At this time, I felt the same fire in my eyes as when I went to Japan the first time. This moment was about 1 year ago, and that's when the more permanent changes started to happen. I earned my TEFL certification in July, and I was invited to come back again in the fall, so I joined a slightly smaller team of interns and returned once more. During this trip, I knew that I needed to stop messing around with my school schedule, and I needed to find a program that would fit my lifestyle. So I applied for an online degree program from another university in my state. The main difference is that they accepted over 60 of my credits, and I'm starting with junior year status. I know I need my bachelor's degree to live and work here full time, and I'm working towards it. I'm definitely doing that. I'm continuing the video production work here, so I'm really getting the best of both worlds right now. I'd be lying if I said that the last 6 to 7 years after high school graduation haven't been a roller coaster ride, but now I'm more determined than ever to climb to the top and not fall back down. And my tattoo is a reminder of that too. It's a motion graphics timeline of my best years of college so far. The gray diamonds are keyframes, the start and end of a time in my life. The black dots are small events, and their first red circle is my first trip to Japan. I chose my major as visual communications when I returned home, so the camera shutter is the next part of the timeline. And then I went back to Japan again before graduating. I regretfully didn't attend the ceremony, so it's not on the tattoo. Anyway, if you get anything out of this lengthy story at all, just know that life isn't a race. Don't give up on your dreams even if they don't seem achievable, because fighting difficult battles will just make them more rewarding in the end. Thank you. One of the students drew a Yoshi for me, and that was just awesome. I've been doing so many great things here.